Ready? I'd like to call to order Monday, March 16th, regular meeting. Would you please join Councilman Osborne in the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come in your name, seeking guidance. May our discussions be infused with your wisdom and decisions made for success of us all. We pray for the unrest seen in communities across our nation. We ask that love and patience heal the wounds. We ask for protection over our military and public safety, men and women, and we ask for the brightest of futures for our young. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Councilman Osborne. Let's go right to I need to announce we're all here. Thank you for everybody being here tonight. We have one communication, and that is to proclaim the week of March 16th to the 22nd, 2015 as the 2015 Fix a Leak Week. Mark Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor Lord, members of the council. Pleasure to be here before you and announce a few things. All over the country, March 16th to the 22nd of this year is being observed as by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency through a WaterSense Fix a Leak Week program. The nationwide observance encourages every household and water user to take action to find and fix leaks. National estimates are that enough water is lost every year to serve 11 million homes. If Goodyear residents fixed as many leaks as the national average, the city service area alone could save 143 million gallons per year. 2015 is the first year the city of Goodyear has taken concerted action to motivate residents to participate. The informational effort is focused around the largest attraction during this week, which you're fully familiar with, is Spring Training, the Cactus League. Alan Kareem, an ASU student in the School of Sustainability, who is serving as an intern with the city in the Water Resources Division with the Decision Center for a Desert City, has coordinated a lot of these efforts, working with the Water Conservation Coordinator and ballpark folks to provide many parts of this program and water conservation information out to the ballpark itself during this week of spring training. The partnership with Goodyear Ballpark, Liberty Water, the Cleveland Indians, and the Cincinnati Reds, the city has been able to provide an incentive to residents to take action to reduce their water usage in the first two billing cycles of 2015. And if the residents of both Liberty and the city service area reduce their water consumption, they receive 2 free tickets for a ball game. Both Liberty and Goodyear's water service area had a significant number of customers reduce their water usage through January and February. In fact, the Liberty service area had approximately 4,000 customers reduce their water consumption. The city of Goodyear's service area had approximately 7,000 water customers reduce their water consumption. Eligible Goodyear customers reduced their water usage by 61 million gallons. So that's a great accomplishment. The number of tickets redeemed by the eligible customers who reduce their water use is right now about 1,000. There's still time to claim those tickets all the way through Sunday of this week. With the pre-sold tickets for the week and the attendance for last week, this promises to be a great informational campaign with a very broad reach. Staff will submit this to an EPA for an incentive program award. And we are the first city to really take this to heart with the Cactus League and the spring training as an incentive for water conservation. This week, all game attendees will see an announcement on the scoreboard promoting Fix a Leak Week and how to fix leaks. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, there will be a table at the ballpark, with tools to help fix leaks. Residents may take home a high-efficiency shower head or a moisture meter to help to know when to water plants. Everyone gets free information, including the Smart Home Water Guide and the regional and city conservation information. And with that, I would ask the mayor and council to have the proclamation or address any questions you may have.
All right, would you like to bring his Karam here?
Yes, he is.
All right, yeah, bring him up.
He has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and really want to have him, if he can be with the picture, it'd be great. Thank you.
Well, we're going to do more than that. We're going to make him face the audience, and I'm going to read a proclamation. Sorry. All right, so this is Fix a Leak Week, March 16th to the 22nd, 2015. So whereas the amount of water leaked from the United States home is estimated to be more than 1 trillion gallons per year, averaging 10,000 gallons per house, excuse me, and with 10% of homes having leaks that waste 90 gallons of water or more a day. That's a lot of water. Whereas common households leaks include leaking irrigation, broken sprinklers or toilet flappers, dripping faucets, and other leaking valves. Whereas fixing these simple leaks, both indoors and outdoors, can save homeowners 10% or more on their water bills. Whereas energy is an important component of water delivery and use, fixing leaks also saves energy. WaterSense is a partnership program sponsored by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, and we know that as EPA, to protect the future of our nation's water supplies by promoting and enhancing the market for water-efficient products and services. Whereas the City of Goodyear, partner in the EPA WaterSense Fix a Leak Week campaign, has teamed up with Liberty Utility and Goodyear Ballpark, as well as the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Indians, in creating an unprecedented partnership to reward water customers who fix leaks or otherwise conserve water by providing free spring training baseball tickets. Now, therefore, it be resolved that I, Georgia Lord, the mayor of the City of Goodyear, Arizona, do proclaim the week of March 16th to the 22nd, 2015 as Fix Leak Week. That's very difficult to say. In the City of Goodyear. And I thank all the residents who have already fixed a leak this winter, and challenge all other citizens to continue to find and repair leaks this week and to continue to use water efficiency year-round. Given under my hand in these free United States in the City of Goodyear on the 16th day of March 2015, to which I have caused the seal of the City of Goodyear to be affixed, and I have made this proclamation public. Thank you for all the work you've done on this. We're going to take... Now, I will tell you that I was very nervous about getting my water bill, because as the mayor, if I didn't get a ticket, that meant I wasn't watching but we received a ticket, 2 of them, and I think Councilman Loretano, you received one.
Yes, I fixed a leak.
Okay, I don't know if anybody else, but I.
He's fixing leaks all week.
Well, yes. So I was thrilled. So let me hand this to you. So anyway, it was good to make the cut.
Excellent. Thank you.
What do you want him to do? He wants you to do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Open it up. There you go.
All right. Good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's okay. Okay.
All right. Now is the time for citizens who would like to address the City Council on any non-agenda items. And I do have a speaker's card, so I'll introduce to the dais here Samalin Rory. Did I pronounce that correctly? Oh, thank you.
My name is Somlin Rory, 2321 South 166th Avenue, Goodyear, Arizona. Honorable members of council, I am here today to speak about the progress of the citrus orchard located on the northwest corner of Cotton Lane and Indian School Road. In 2013, my husband, Patrick Simone, began a campaign called Saving the Orchard to save the 50-plus citrus trees that were dying on city-owned property. With the generous support and backing of Goodyear and Valley residents and the council's willingness to reach a fruitful compromise, the dying trees returned to life and even produced fruit this past fall. come to you today with the most heartfelt desire of seeing Patrick's vision of the orchard fulfilled. He planned to speak to all of you about its continuing progress, with the wish that the trees would be tended to and its fruit shared with those in the community, but most importantly, to those in need. Patrick recently passed away on February 20th from a car accident, leaving behind a legacy of empathy toward all living things, service, and a fierce commitment in creating a beautiful harmony in this life. He raised and taught our 3 young daughters, created and built a small farm, and put his care and effort in saving these trees and the many other dying trees he rehabilitated and also brought back to life on our own farm. I ask for your continued support in keeping these trees alive, as well as a genuine collaboration between myself and a member of the council, allowing us to develop a plan that would celebrate Patrick's efforts in saving the orchard, that would promote goodwill and camaraderie between Goodyear residents and City Council, and to donate this year's harvest and any future harvest to a food bank program such as Super Citrus Saturday with minimal cost to the city. Thank you, Council, for allowing me these few words, and I hope by the graciousness of your hearts, you will continue to support and help me keep Patrick's dream of the orchard alive.
Thank you very, very much for coming forth, and your husband was very passionate over that, and that takes a lot to come before us tonight, especially under the circumstances to do that, so you can be very proud of Patrick. He certainly was forward-thinking, and it's very kind of you to bring your family and come before us today, and staff will get back to you on the latter part of your request. So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Yes, would you please come forward and state your name and your address, please?
My name's Craig Shaw, 15967 West Berkeley Road, Goodyear, Arizona. I got a couple things. First, sorry for the way I'm dressed. I'm a volunteer coach at Litchfield
That's okay.
Park
You have Air
Schools.
Force on that, so you can be
Okay,
forgiven by this
I'm a
mayor.
mess, but it is what it is. First thing is the ADOT meeting at Pebble Creek. I back up to McDowell. It is terrible. ADOT was ill-prepared for this meeting. They made people try to talk down to people, number one. Number two, ADOT said they would like to reach out to the community and work with the community to solve this issue. They do a noise study for 15 minutes between the hours of 3 and 5, Monday through Friday. 15 minutes. The wind changes every 10 minutes. They said they had readings in Pebble Creek. By the way, this is not a Pebble Creek problem. This is not an ADOT problem. This is now a City of Goodyear problem. We have other residents here with the same issue. Their readings were 51 to 68, but they threw out the 68. Federal law is 67 decibels, a wall must be built. 67. Arizona goes one step further, 64, they build a wall. My backyard on a Saturday night, in my bedroom with the window open, I have 74 decibels, plus or minus 4 according to ADOT. That's 78 to 70 decibels, 3 decibels above federal law to build the wall. Last Sunday, I hit 92 decibels in my backyard. I invite everybody on the council to come to my backyard, sit and have a cocktail with me. You can't carry on a conversation. I have a beautiful home, an expensive home, that I cannot sit in my backyard. Does this city have a city engineering firm, or do we have a city engineer on staff? Anybody?
Mr. Shaw, thank you very much for coming up. Just let me check
I'm not
with the
done.
lawyer. No, it's okay. Would you like to continue before the red light goes on? I'm sorry.
Oh, I
to
didn't
ask
know
you
that
for-
about all the red light stuff. Oh, I still got a minute and a half. Yeah, I'll wait.
Yeah, all right.
The decibels, the reading, I would request that the city send an engineer to my house, leave it over a period of time. Put it Friday night from 5 until 11:30 is terrible, and Sunday night there's no ambient noise according to ADOT. That's why the traffic's so loud. 92 decibels. I've been to rock concerts that aren't 92 decibels. It's unacceptable. This is a City of Goodyear problem. What can we do to get it done? Number 2. Wow, this is a tough one. I read in the paper about the state of the city address, and you want to charge $25. I hear it has since been changed. I would like to see that in the paper. The paper made you look pretty bad, Miss Lord.
I know it did.
I was appalled. I thought, to me, in my eyes, that was campaign chest money. Okay? I don't know if that was deliberate by the newspaper. I'm told it probably was. There are residents in this city that have to choose between food, groceries, and prescriptions, and we want to charge them $25 to be involved in our community and tell them what's going on in the community? Unacceptable. I was appalled. I please put a retraction of paper, do something. But the ADOT issue, my red light, I'm up. The ADOT issue is huge. Please, please, let's get something done over there. There's 450 homes, not including Pebble Creek, that back up to McDowell, that it's unacceptable noise level. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming for us. Okay, what are my limitations and what I can say?
Mayor, there's several options. You can refer the action items for future consideration or discussion by the council. You can respond to any criticisms that a person brought up, or you can refer the matter to the city manager for follow-up.
Well, I would like us to address some of the things he said. I don't want to have them leave this evening because they were, and I know you will not, and good on you, on the negative part. So shall we start out with, why don't we start with city manager? Let's address what we can on the ADOT. I want them to make sure that the mayor is not sitting back and hasn't done anything, isn't doing anything, and that the council isn't concerned. Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, members of the council, and certainly, and I'm sorry, your first name?
Craig.
Craig, thank you. Absolutely. The city takes this very seriously as well. We have started, we're already working actively with the Arizona Department of Transportation at several levels. We're also working with the Maricopa Association of Government. The mayor will be working on that. We have like 4 specific activities that we're working on right now to, one, look at additional noise study, 2, the acceleration of rubberized asphalt. So several things going on. We do not control the monies for this. However, we have influence. We do have influence, and we will be using that. So that's one. We are not letting the grass grow. It's one we're actively working on this week in some of those meetings with those officials. We will be providing updates as we have those available for council, and certainly the citizens will be informed as well. Specific to the other, I need to be very specific. We are going to, next Monday, there will be a work session with council talking about state of the city. I think the term itself can somehow, it can take different meanings for different audiences. The April 28th event is focused for the development-related community, the commercial brokerage community, businesses, et cetera. So that's why it's going through the Chamber of Commerce. That's not atypical to have a Chamber of Commerce host an event like, or actually put on an event, whether it's lunch, dinners, those types of things. So we're continuing with that. Certainly understand, though, we have a very, very engaged citizenry. We've had citizens involved in so many areas. That's the lifeblood of the community. And one of the things that we do want to make sure that gets communicated is the state of the city. There will be one. We'll be looking at exactly when we do have that. That won't be just focused on business and economic development, although there'll be a component of that. But we'll also be having other things like initiatives that come out of the budget process, different activities going on in the community. Could be updates on parks and things like that. But again, that will be for council discussion next Monday. And we are looking at having that September, October. This city's always strived to be transparent with our citizenry. And we do that through many ways. And certainly do not want to keep any citizen from attending the state of the city when we do have that. We did change the name, just to be clear, we did change the name for the economic development event because of the confusion involved in this, and that will be called Goodyear Geared for Growth.
Was that an oversight on the city's part, or was that the West Valley View?
Well, I will tell you, the West Valley View did not call me. I'll leave it right there. Nobody had, you get sort of like a hard shell of a turtle. Because when you're on the council and you're the mayor, frequently you get calls, stopped in the stores, emails, and they're not very nice. So that's just part of this job. But I think it was very hurtful because it went out to all these people. So I mean, I didn't think they put much thought into the possibility of just calling me on the telephone and talking to me about it. So, and unfortunate. Can I keep going or I can't go?
Keep going until he tells you to
We have
stop.
to be very careful. Just
Got me
take,
leaning forward.
you have to be very careful. Sometimes it's just very difficult. Okay, but entire council and as a mayor, I feel somewhat remiss because we had not had the meeting with the council yet to plan a regular state of the city for the public. And in the past, for the past number of years, I have not wanted to give one. Okay, but somebody convinced me. Okay, it's time to do that, and so we're doing essentially the business and the public. So I don't know if that helps, but thank you for coming forward. You should do that. You should question us, and we appreciate it. So, okay.
Question the paper more than you.
Thank you very much.
So, Mayor,
Yes.
may I ask Mr. Shaw a question that's legal?
Yeah, ask the lawyer.
May I?
Go ahead.
Are you from Palm Valley 8 or 9?
Palm Valley 8.
I got it right. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Come on over.
Oh, I will. I told you I would. I'll be there.
So as soon as we get to the point where we have some pertinent information as to what action we're taking with 303, and when we get that, we will put the information out. Okay, so looking at the website, and I haven't any idea how else we'll get out, whether through the utility bill or whatever, but we definitely will post it on our website. But we are not finished with our negotiations to figure out how this is going to go. Okay, but thank you very much. Now, is there anybody else in the audience that didn't fill out a card that wanted to talk? Please come up and state your name and address.
Honorable Mayor and the Board Council, I'm Pat Heavey. I live at 15709 West Coronado, and yes, 157 and Coronado. I've been in my house. I built it in 2009. I've listened to the noise. You can go to my house tonight. It's not too bad. This past week, it's not too bad. For the last 3 months, it's terrible. So a lot of things that I think fall in with the DOT study is weather, the wind direction, humidity, and temperature. They can come out. When the guy at the meeting at Pebble Creek, he stood up and he says, call us, we'll come out at your convenience between 3 and 5 for 15 minutes. That's not a study. I've been an electrician for 30 years. I've run data loggers. I can't give a study in 15 minutes. I can't give you a study in an hour. I've got to have more information. They need more information. The noise issue has been going on before the 303 interchange started because I've been in my house since 2009, which is before that. It amplified after the wall went up on the south side of I-10 because all that noise reverberates back. And there are some nights that my house is tighter than a drum. And I tell you what, I'm in the other side of the house, and I can still tell you every car that's going down the road. So whatever you can do to have, and like Craig said, I've got a room. Anybody they can stay as long as they want, as long as they can stand it. So that was my comment for that. The other comment was I missed the council meeting. I think it was in February. I was away. And the council and the mayor were talking about pay raises for the police and for the fire department. I have enough money in my pocket you can take it for taxes to give them a raise. I don't have a lot of money for everybody else, but when I have an issue, it's the fire department who did come to my house to get my wife. And it was the police who do come around the area. So I commend them for everything they do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So can I just add one thing is that bouncing off a wall, some people have not been so bothered they put another wall up, and because of wherever that wall was located, they've gotten more noise. Mm-hmm. So it's not just there's somehow that they construct this is not always working. So, okay? All right? Enough said. I'd love to say more, but the law tells me I can't, so let's go on. Thank you very much, citizens who appeared before us tonight. We really appreciate it. So, all right, let's go to the consent agenda. Will the city clerk please read the consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.5 by title only?
Item 6.1, approve draft minutes from a regular meeting held on February 23rd, 2015. Item 6.2, execute intergovernmental agreement JPA 14-0004967 with the state of Arizona for access and exchange of traffic crash data with the Arizona Department of Transportation. Item 6.3, approve the use of funds from the FY15 fleet operating budget for the purchase of bulk fuel, unleaded diesel, and E85 from Synergy Holdings via a cooperative contract with the state of Arizona in the amount of $800,000. Item 6.4, number 1, approve a request from Claire Holly Abel for a Series 09S liquor license number 090-70111S for Walmart Supercenter number 5369 located at 1100 North Estrella Parkway, Goodyear, Arizona 85338. Number 2, approve a request from Claire Holly Abel for a Series 09S liquor license number 090-70448S for Walmart Neighborhood Market number 3604 located at 14200 West Indian School Road, Goodyear, Arizona 85395. Item 6.5, approve the issuance of a temporary, non-exclusive easement to construct and maintain drainage facilities to Basis School, Incorporated, adjacent to the north property line of the Basis School's property.
Thank you. Does anyone from the public wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Does anyone in the council wish to remove an item from the consent agenda?
Yes.
Councilman Osborne?
6.4, please, presentation.
So should we do the presentation, or should I go ahead and vote on the other ones and bring them back? I can't hear you.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
All right, let's go ahead and get a presentation now. That way.
You need the full. You're asking for the full presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Walmart is asking for a sampling license at its 2 locations. They're asking for a permanent sampling license to be added to the existing license that they already have as a Series 9 liquor store. Beer and wine stores that have at least 5,000 square feet are eligible to provide sampling privileges. After a sampling privilege has been issued for a liquor store license, the sampling privilege shall be noted on the license that is held by the state. There are several criteria that they have to adhere to. Number 1, an open product shall be kept locked by the licensee when the sampling area is not staffed. The licensee is otherwise subject to all other provisions of this title. The licensed retailer shall make sales of sampled products from the licensed retail premises. The licensee shall not charge any customer for the sampling of any products. The sampling shall be conducted under the supervision of an employee of the sponsored distiller, vintner, brewer, wholesaler, or retail licensee. Accurate records of sampling products dispensed shall be retained by the licensee. Sampling shall be limited to 3 ounces of beer or cooler type products, 1.5 ounces of wine, and 1 ounce of distilled spirits per person, per brand, per day. And the sampling shall be conducted only on the licensed premises. The applicant is here to answer any questions, and I'm happy to have it.
Thank you. Does that answer your question?
No, I had one other question. So, Sue, I understand this is a sampling type of license. Is this a item where we have a roll call vote, or is this one of those situations where it is a approve, decline, or with no? Explain how this one is.
We put the new businesses, new applications on the business agenda so that you can have a roll call vote. We can move this one to the business agenda if you'd like. It's on consent, whereas you would not be doing a roll call vote unless we remove it. So
I see. Well, my personal opinion about this is this is not a place to have sampling. This is not a restaurant. This is not a liquor store. This is not a Total Wine. This is not anything like that. This is a Walmart. And so I will not approve this, and that is why I'm asking. And that may be just myself, but that is why I'm asking how we can have this vote, so I can decline it
ask for a
myself.
roll call
Okay,
vote on this
I
one.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, since it's on consent right now, but we should probably pull it and handle this item separately from the other consent
Okay,
items.
all right. So I need a motion to pull 6 point,
Don't need a motion, just pull
all right,
it.
I'll pull 6.4. Okay, so what I need is a motion for 6.1,
Oh,
6.
Mayor, I have a question on 6.5. I don't want to pull it, but I just have a
All right.
question. On 6.5, Mr. City Manager? Hello?
Yes.
He sees
Okay.
you.
On 6.5, the non-exclusive easement, is this going to cause any heartburn to Desert Edge High School? Do we have to clear it with them before we do this? Somebody?
Yes,
please?
I'll have our engineering director address your question.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilmember Campbell. No, this is actually located along the north side of Basis School, and it simply holds a 100-year 2-hour from the northern reaches of our 100-acre property.
Okay, thank you very much.
All set?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Joe?
That you mentioned,
Mayor, excuse me.
that you mentioned that, just a question. Is that easement on our property, and is that taking away from something that we would have access to as a result of, is it using up some of our property, I guess is my question.
It is located on our property, but the language in the easement, if we were to need that property for any other reason, it would be removed.
Does that create a problem, though, if we needed it for some other reason and you had no place to drain that water?
No, the water would need to be accommodated in a fashion.
So it still could be used for drainage, but we'd have to figure out if we wanted to use it for something else, something that necessarily water wouldn't drain into. Maybe I'm not quite getting it there.
It's drainage from our own property that we're holding on our property. We're doing a similar thing to drainage that comes along the side above Goodyear Boulevard.
Okay, so this really is used by us as well, so it's not putting an additional burden on our property then?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so any other discussion?
Can we ask questions on the sampling one, or are we off of that?
Separate.
Which
We're off of
one?
that.
For the Walmart liquor license?
No, as long as it's, I'm going to pull it. It's pulled,
so I can
so
ask questions then, or
you
now?
can ask it. You want to ask it, or at this point?
I'll do it then.
Can she ask it? Go ahead and ask it at this
You
point.
can't, you've pulled it, so why don't you just take a vote on your
All right.
consent items
All
and then
right,
handle
so
that
what
one
I need
individually.
from you, council, is a motion on 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and 6.5. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
I heard a motion from Vice Mayor Pizzillo and a second from Councilman Stipp. Roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Pizzillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne?
Aye.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Stipp?
Aye.
Councilmember Homan?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
So let's go back to 6.4, okay? So there was another question on it.
Yeah, I had a couple questions on it.
All right, go ahead.
It didn't say whether or not they take ID or how they determine that.
Mayor Lord, Councilwoman Loretano. Yes, what they will do is they will cordon off an area, and that can be done either with ropes or it can be done with stacking of boxes, around. There will be an area cordoned off. In order to enter the sampling area, you must show ID that you are 21 years or older. So in other words, if your children are with you, they cannot go into the area. So that's going to limit some people from doing the sampling. And then you will have to show your ID, and that will be recorded then by the samplers, so that the impetus for this is actually coming from local vintners and local brewers. It's their opportunity to be able to get their products in front of people and to have people sample them so that they'll know that maybe I'll choose this instead of Bud Light or whatever it is that they would ordinarily buy. So,
And how will you ensure that? Yeah, I've seen that. How will you ensure that someone doesn't keep coming back for more samples of the same day because it says one time?
You're recording.
because they have to record their ID, and so then we have their ID, and that list will be checked by the samplers each time to make certain that people are not coming back. Plus, before they leave the sampling area, they must leave the cup behind that they're sampling in.
And then my other question is, what other stores, or do we know who else does this in Goodyear? I know Total Wine and probably Bevmo.
Molly, I think you knew that.
Yeah, I don't know that they do it in Goodyear, but I have seen the sampling at Sam's Club, and they did it around Christmas time because they had some specials, and they did have it cordoned off, and they did ask for your ID, and I figured if anyone was desperate enough to dig out their ID and go in, but they only let you do it the one time. You cannot come in and out 2 or 3 times in one sitting because they've taken your name and your information, so it's just one time, and that's it. But I can see why they might ask it because we have Saddle Mountain Brewery Company here in Goodyear, and if they wanted to get their beer, I guess it's beer. Is it beer? Beer in the local market, perhaps they would approach Walmart to do that. Although I have not seen this done in Walmart. So, are there other Walmarts that do this, or is this a brand new thing?
Mayor Lord, Councilwoman Campbell, yes, there are other Walmarts in the state of Arizona where this is being done.
Okay. May I ask Sue one question? So, whatever we do, if we vote yes or no, does this request go to the ABC and they have to determine whether you get it or not? So it's just whether we endorse it or not. That's why you've come before council.
Mayor Lord, Councilwoman Campbell, this is like when you ask for a liquor license originally.
Okay.
You have the ability to recommend approval, recommend denial, or return it with no recommendation. With either of the last two, that would then require that we go to the state liquor board.
Okay.
In order to get a final approval.
Okay, thank you.
They have the final word.
They do.
Okay. Councilman Stipp.
So can you describe the criteria for this again? The square footage. No, I'd prefer to hear from Sue if I can. The square feet that are required, and how does this play out?
I'll read it. A beer and wine store premises shall contain at least 5,000 square feet in order to be eligible for sampling privileges.
The size of the store must be 5,000 square feet, is
Correct.
that? Oh, okay. I guess the other question I have then for the applicant is, so a local brewer, I think that's what they're called. Are they local brewers? Or a distiller comes up with a great product in their garage and they come to you and say, hey, we'd like to have this sampled. What's the likelihood of Walmart carrying that brand?
Well, the Mayor, Lord, Councilman Stewart, the likelihood is that if they have made an approach to a wholesaler, and the wholesaler is willing to carry the product, then that would be the opportunity for Walmart to have it. Walmart can only purchase from a wholesaler. They cannot purchase directly from a vintner or a brewer. So if they've made an arrangement with a wholesaler, then what they would have to do is the wholesaler would come to Walmart and would say, we want to sample these items. May we do that?
So the microbrew that has a great thing that contacts a distributor, and then distributor contacts you.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Then that local distributor may or may not be able to put that product in your store.
Absolutely, yes. That's correct.
I I guess you haven't
That's a-
shopped on the other side of the valley, guys.
That's a pretty big
Yes, there's
operation.
quite a few on the other side of the valley.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm just to wrap up my comments. I'm in agreement with Councilmember Osborne that I don't think this is the appropriate setting for a tasting. Is not in a grocery store or in a superstore. It just doesn't seem appropriate.
Councilman Loretano?
I guess this might go. I think this sounds like. What I was going to say is I think this sounds like it kind of goes hand in hand with some of the new legislature with regard to the microbreweries being allowed to make more product. And so it sounds like that we would have an opportunity to bring some of these smaller breweries, like you said, if it goes to the wholesaler, to our community as well, because that just passed the legislature. And I have seen this in Scottsdale, and I don't know if it was Walmart necessarily, but like either
I can't remember,
Fry's or
but
Safeway
if you
or
go
something.
on Saturday, there's quite a few of them on the other side of the valley that has it.
And I my other question is, the person serving obviously would follow all the requirements of selling or serving liquor.
Mayor, Lord, Councilwoman Loretano. Yes, in fact, Walmart contracts with a company that is responsible for taking care of the sampling, and they are very good and very strict with their procedures, yes.
Because if you had problems with this could put your entire liquor license for Walmart on the line.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is not a bad thing. I think you have the precautions in place, so I'm okay with this.
Any other discussion?
Mayor Lord and members of the council, in response to a previous question, Safeway stores do have a sampling permit.
In Goodyear.
And
Yeah, I've
Fry's
seen them
also.
operating in
Fry's
there.
also.
I didn't hear.
In Goodyear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay, is any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor, we still need a motion and a second for this item.
I'm sorry. Didn't we have a motion already?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. A motion from Vice Mayor, a second from Councilman Campo. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Osborne?
Nay.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Stipp?
Nay.
Councilmember Holman?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Pizzillo?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Passes 5-2.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Sue. All right, let's go on to the business. First item on the business is to consider a new Series 12 liquor license for Manny's. You're asking me something. I thought you were asking me.
No.
Manny's Mexican Grill. Sue, you're on again.
Here I am again. Good evening again, Mayor and Council. As you know, all liquor license applications for new businesses are placed on the business agenda, so you'll have an opportunity for a roll call vote. With that in mind, I'm happy to be able to present a new Series 12 liquor license for Manny's Mexican Grill, which is located at 13290 West Van Buren Street. This is on the north side of Van Buren Street, just east of Palo Verde Drive. This location was previously occupied by Arturo's Mexican Restaurant.
That's right.
But that building has been
Okay.
vacant for several years. Manny's Mexican Grill is locally owned and operated and open for business last week. This concludes my presentation, and the applicant is
Thank
in
you.
the
Are
audience.
there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience would like to speak? Okay. Then could I have a motion and a second to approve the request from Crystal L. Childs, owner and agent of Manny's Mexican Grill LLC, for a series of new Series 12 liquor license number 1207A146, located at 13290 West Van Buren Street in Goodyear.
Second.
I heard a motion by Councilman Stipp and a second by Councilman Osborne. So open for council discussion. Councilman Stipp.
The obligatory, Ms. Childs, are you here? Welcome to the city. Thank you for bringing your business to us and reopening a great restaurant. We look forward to having lunch and dinner at your place. Thank you for being here.
Any other Councilman Holman.
Well, I'm pleased to say I have had lunch there, and it was delighted to see it open, and the service was great, and I certainly would recommend anyone to come and taste the fare.
Great. Any other comments? Joe, Council,
Just
Vice Mayor?
again, just welcome to the city.
Okay, if we're set, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Councilmember Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Stipp?
Aye.
Councilmember Homan?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Pizzillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
Thank you. We're at 7.2 to consider approving a budgeted expenditure not to exceed $1 million. And I believe that Ron Seavright, Streets and Traffic Superintendent, to present.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. We're here tonight to propose our 2015 spring projects with a slight recap of what we did in the fall. In the fall, we did about 300,000 square yards of high-density mineral bond. We figured the project was a great success. We notified the public, worked with Christina Plant, made sure we got our word out to the HOAs. Brian attended some community meetings. We provided residents with transportation. Brian was out there all day. I'd like to recognize Brian, if you'd stand up, please. Brian did an excellent job dealing with the public and the contractor, making sure the residents were, got back and forth to their homes that lived far away and had to walk a long distance, or they were carrying, heavy baggage or had kids or whatever. He made sure they got back and forth, and he did a great job out there. So wanted to recognize Brian for that. Most of our feedback was positive, and the project looks really good. What we're asking for tonight is for the council to approve a budget not to exceed $1 million for the spring 2015 pavement management projects. These are the locations for the projects. As you can see, we're continuing the neighborhoods with the slurry seals in blue. And then in the green is our micro seal projects, which will be resurfacing some collectors and major arterials.
Can you give us specific locations, please?
The
map's hard to see.
I believe we had that. I don't have the exact subdivisions.
Well,
just a brief overview in the.
Well, I'm making it
bigger. We
bigger.
can get that if you'd like it.
So it's south of Van Buren.
Correct.
From Van Buren, Yuma.
We have
and Lower Buckeye.
several neighborhoods in
Brian, do you know?
Cotton Flower, Canyon Trails.
You can.
Brian's standing behind you. Maybe he'd like to.
He didn't have it either.
Brian knows them by heart, so.
All right, good.
He's been working on that map for a long
Mayor
time.
and council. Actually, we do, as Ron said, we have Cotton Flower. We're doing the entire
You're going to have to
subdivision.
talk a little bit
can't
louder.
We're doing the entire subdivision of Cotton Flower. We're also doing a back portion of Canyon Trails. We're doing all of Centera, and then we're doing two different portions of Estrella Vista. And then as far as the micro seal, we're continuing on Pebble Creek Parkway, where last year's Houghton Place left off, finishing that with micro seal all the way to McDowell, and then also Virginia from Pebble Creek back to Bullard, and Cambridge from Virginia to Bullard.
Did you get that?
Well, sort of, yes. So, okay, so for Indian School, you're going to do from Pebble Creek Parkway going westbound, just past Saraville.
Correct. Right where they left off with the 303 improvements.
Right.
Where they paved up to there. So we're hitting that piece in between.
Good, it needs it.
That's good.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Just a quick question for you before you go on. You have, I assume, all these streets marked with some type of rating system, and that's how
Correct.
you're going about selecting. And again, how far the money carries you, I assume as well.
Yes, Councilman Pizzillo. We actually have a 5-year plan based on budget. We even have next year's plan set aside based on PCI and PCI scores. Depending on budget, we have 2 different scenarios. But this year, this is what we could cover with the funding that we had.
So I assume going forward in next year's budget, you'll have some type of presentation or some type of detail to show how much money, based on the budget, on the allocation that you have, on what areas within the city you plan on doing the various sealing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Councilman Loretano.
I want to compliment you. Several streets up in our neighborhood and several neighbors were very happy with how professional everyone was, how much information they got out ahead of time, the contact numbers. People responded if there were questions easily. It was easy to get a ride to your car. It looks really good as well, and it was just ran very smoothly. So I do want to compliment you all on that because it was a very smooth process. I didn't hear any complaints of any of the neighbors. In fact, many of the streets were open by the time people got done from work, which was great.
Thank you, Councilman Lutano.
So that's a double thank you to Brian, I guess, from what I'm hearing there. Yes.
Thank you.
I would like, any other questions here? I would like to request the next time we have a map brought before us like that, have it a little bit more pronounced. And it was hard to see. And if you could just tagline the neighborhoods it was in, like you just did up here, I think it would take away some of the confusions.
We could do that, Mayor Lord.
Okay, all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much. Are there any speaker cards? I think we're finished right now. Are there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Would anybody in the audience like to speak? All right. Then could I please have a motion and a second to approve the budget expenditure not to exceed $1 million to complete the microsurfacing and slurry pavement preservation treatments on the city streets?
So moved.
Second.
I heard from Councilman Campbell, a second from Vice Mayor Pizzillo. Open for council discussion. You see, I looked at you, Meg. I was sure you were going to discuss this. No discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next item on 7.3, Palm Valley 303 PAD Amendment Public Hearing. Has been continued to April 13th council meeting. So now we'll go on to 7.4. This is to consider the second plat of the Palm Valley Phase 6 Perimeter West Final Plat and abandonment of certain streets in Eastman. Karen Craver to present. Hello, Karen.
Hello, Mayor. Thank you very much. This agenda item is for a replat of the northern quarter of the previous replat of Perimeter West approved in 2011. Perimeter West extends from Camelback Road on the north to Indian School on the south, and from the 303 on the east to Cotton Lane on the west. This is the 2011 replat, and property owner Sunbelt Holdings had processed it primarily to create the large Lot 11 for Dick's Sporting Goods. Sunbelt also dedicated the right-of-way to the public for the cul-de-sacs to the north of Lot 11. However, those roads were never built. They exist only on paper, and no utilities were installed. This is the current replat that is now being processed also by Sunbelt, primarily to create another large lot, 12A, for another distribution facility that is currently in the site plan approval process. In conjunction with the current replat, Sunbelt also submitted an application requesting an abandonment of those cul-de-sac rights-of-way that were dedicated on the 2011 replat. The current replat will utilize privately maintained cross-access easements rather than publicly maintained rights-of-way. Staff has determined that, subject to the stipulations in your staff report, that the replat is consistent with the technical requirements of the city subdivision regulations, and we are recommending that council approve it. Should you do so, we also ask that you adopt Resolution 15-1700, abandoning those rights-of-way and utility easements. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have of me, and there are representatives from Sunbelt here as well.
Thank you. Are there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
All right. Would anybody in the audience like to speak? All right. Then could I have a motion? This is number one. A motion is second to approve the replat of Palm Valley Phase 6 Perimeter West Final Plat approved on October 3rd, 2011, subdividing 54.60 acres into 4 lots, generally located on the south side of Camelback Road between Cotton Lane on the west and the Loop 303 on the east, subject to stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion from Councilman Campbell and a second from Councilman Stipp. Open for council discussion. No discussion? Yes, Councilman Stipp.
Just have one comment to our partners from Sunbelt. Thank you for continuing your efforts up in this area. What we're experiencing from a growth perspective in that area is great. It's great for our city. I know it's great for you as a company, but our long partnership with you has certainly paid off over the years. And personally, I appreciate your willingness to stick with us as a city and continue to build and bring great projects in. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Well said. And I think the 6 other people on this dais feel the same way. So thank you for choosing those words. Any other discussion? All right, let's vote on it. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Now, would the city clerk please read resolution by title only?
Adopt resolution number 15-1700, conditionally abandoning certain streets and related public utility easements and temporary drainage easements dedicated to the city in the replat of Palm Valley Phase 11, Perimeter West Final Plat, approved by the Goodyear City Council on October 3rd, 2011.
Thank you very much. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
I had a motion by Councilman Stiff and a second by Councilman, who said this? Campbell.
Yeah.
So open for council discussion. All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Stipp?
Aye.
Councilmember Homan?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Pizzillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne?
Aye.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
All right, we got through that. All right, time for council for comments, commentation, reports on current events. Anybody want to talk? No, nobody wants to talk to.
We have been a lot of places.
All right. Okay. All right. And does the city manager have anything? I do have something. I want to add it right here. I'd like the fire chief to come up and just talk quickly on an event that took place this week. It was pretty spectacular, and I'm hoping you're going to see the video of it sometime soon. But it's very inspiring, and I'm not sure how many other cities to do this, but I thought it was just terrific.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, as the Mayor alluded to, we completed the girls' camp last Friday night with the graduation. So the camp, we went out and asked for young women between the ages of 14 and 18 that may have an interest in fire emergency services to come in for a camp for 1 week, be trained by our female firefighters, and Captain Hugo Bedoya was the project manager for the entire camp. So we had 6 young women sign up for our first camp, and they completed a week of training with us, which included CPR certification, and then we had the family night graduation, which Lynette Reed and the mayor were our closing speakers for. So a lot of great feedback from them, from the families, also from the campers, and we hope to continue this for years to come. So.
Well, and they had a special ceremony afterwards that demonstrated what they had to learn. That they had a little fire set, not a real fire, but with smoke, and they came off the truck and they pulled the hoses, and they're all dressed up with the mask and everything. And they gave they gave resuscitation. They knew what they were doing. It was just amazing. So, are we going to be able to show that sometime at the council meeting?
Yeah, we're trying to get the video now, so I'm hoping
Okay.
for either the next one or the one after that.
It was outstanding, and I think when people start seeing this, there are going to be other young people who are going to want to join this because it was well done by your staff. Absolutely.
They did
So
a great
I
job.
congratulate you. Thank you. I called you up
Thank
the
you.
last minute. I know.
No, it's okay.
You didn't, no preparation. Thank you. Anything else? All right, then I'm going to turn it over.
I have a question for the city manager.
Yes, okay.
Mr. City Manager, I would like when Nathan Torres or whomever does the report back to us on the YMCA to include how many Goodyear residents actually belong to the YMCA, please. Just to add that to the
yes,
report.
we'll include that. That information is
And
available.
make sure
I
they
just
know
got
the
thumbs up
history
from
behind it
Nathan.
and the agreement, everything, because
Right.
it's been there a long time. Nothing else? Then, City Manager, do you have anything you'd like to report?
No, Mayor.
No? Okay. All right. Then the future meeting, first of all, we're going to have a special meeting, but we're going to go back and do the work session. We're going to continue the work session, and then we have a special meeting after that. But the next work session, regular meeting, and special meeting will be held on March 23rd, 2015. So I'm going to adjourn this one, and we're going to stay at the dais it just saves everybody time. So meeting adjourned. All right. I'm going to reopen the work session, and